Have you ever wondered why, despite all your potential, you still feel stuck? Why does your mind feel tired, your soul feels distant, and your days pass without real progress? It's not because you're lazy, it's because you're distracted. And that distraction isn't harmless. It's a silent weapon. The enemy doesn't always come to destroy your life with chaos. Sometimes he just keeps you busy enough, scrolling endlessly, chasing entertainment, ignoring your inner calling, until your purpose fades in the background. You were not created to live like this. This video is your wake-up call. We're going to expose how distractions are quietly stealing your time, your peace, and your destiny, and how you can take it all back, because once you understand what's really happening, you'll never look at your habits the same way again. Stay with me till the end. Your future depends on it. The devil's greatest weapon is distraction. In today's world, distraction is everywhere. And what most people don't realize is that distraction isn't just a minor problem. It's one of the enemy's most powerful weapons. The devil doesn't need to destroy you. If he can distract you, he's already winning. You wake up and the first thing you check is your phone. You spend hours scrolling, jumping from one video to the next. You feel busy, but deep down you're empty. That's not just by accident. It's a trap. The devil knows you have purpose. He knows you have potential, but he also knows that if he can keep your mind constantly busy with noise, notifications, and meaningless content, you'll never take time to connect with God. You won't pray, you won't reflect, you won't grow. Distraction doesn't look dangerous, but it steals your time, your focus, and your future. It pulls you away from the silence where God speaks. It keeps you from doing the deep, meaningful work that changes lives, starting with your own. Every moment you give to distraction is a moment stolen from your destiny. And if you don't take control of your focus, someone or something else will. It's time to break free. Start guarding your time like your life depends on it, because it does. God didn't create you for endless scrolling. He created you for impact. The question is, will you let distraction win, or will you fight back? Social media is the new battlefield. We live in a world where attention is the most valuable currency, and social media is the battlefield where that war is being fought, every second of every day. You open your phone for a quick break, and suddenly 30 minutes are gone. You don't even realize it. That's the power of these platforms. They're not free tools. They're designed to keep you hooked, distracted, and mentally drained. But the real cost isn't just time. It's your focus, your peace, your spiritual clarity. When your mind is constantly flooded with reels, stories, and posts, there's no space left for deep thinking. You're not reflecting, you're reacting. You're not growing, you're scrolling. Slowly, without noticing, your mind becomes numb to the present moment and to the voice of God. Social media isn't evil, but when it controls you, it becomes a trap, a weapon that the enemy uses to keep you distracted from your purpose. The greatest ideas, the strongest connections, and the most powerful breakthroughs don't come from a screen. They come from silence, from stillness, from being present. You have to protect your focus. Be mindful of what you consume. Every scroll should be a choice, not a habit. Because the more time you give to distractions, the less time you give to your calling. Remember, social media is the new battlefield, and your mind is the prize. Silence is where God speaks. In a world that never stops talking, silence has become rare. But it's in silence where something powerful happens. God speaks. Think about every time you're surrounded by noise, notifications, music, social media, endless conversations. Your mind is too full to hear anything deeper. You're busy reacting to the world, but not connecting with your own soul. And that's exactly where the enemy wants you. Distracted, overwhelmed, disconnected. God doesn't shout over the noise. He waits in the quiet. In the moments when you pause, when you slow down, when you choose stillness over stimulation. That's when real clarity comes. That's when you hear the small, calm voice reminding you of who you are, what you're meant for, and what truly matters. But when your day is filled with endless noise, that voice gets drowned out. We often say we don't hear from God, but the truth is we rarely give him space to speak. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. You don't need a special place or a perfect routine. Just take 10 minutes a day. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Breathe, reflect, pray. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but that's the point. Growth begins where comfort ends. In a loud world, silence is a superpower. Use it. Protect it. Because that's where direction lives. That's where peace begins. That's where God speaks. Busyness can be dangerous. In today's world, being busy is seen as a badge of honor. If your schedule is packed, people assume you're doing great. But here's the truth. Busyness doesn't always mean progress. It can be a trap. Sometimes we stay busy to avoid what really needs our attention, our emotions, our purpose, our relationship with God. We keep moving, not because we're growing, but because we're running. Running from silence, from reflection, from the truth. You can work 12 hours a day and still feel empty. You can tick off your to-do list and still be lost. Why? Because activity without intention is just noise, and the enemy knows that. He doesn't always attack with pain. Sometimes he uses distraction disguised as busyness. Ask yourself, are you moving closer to your purpose, or are you just filling time to avoid asking the hard questions? God never asked you to be busy. He asked you to be faithful. And faithfulness isn't about how full your calendar is. It's about how aligned your actions are with your calling. Slow down. Take time to reflect. Don't let busyness fool you into thinking you're doing well when deep down you're drifting. True productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Your soul doesn't need more noise, it needs direction. And that direction comes when you stop running and start listening. Don't let the trap of busyness rob you of the life you're meant to live. The enemy uses entertainment to numb you. Entertainment looks harmless. A movie to relax, a song to vibe, a few reels to pass time. But what if I told you it's not just fun, it's a weapon? The enemy knows he can't stop your potential, but if he can numb your mind, distract your heart, and keep your soul lazy, he wins without a fight. Most of what we call entertainment doesn't feed our spirit, it drains it. The music we listen to, the shows we binge, the endless memes, we rarely stop to ask, what is this doing to my mind? What is this planting in my heart? You see, not all poison kills instantly. Some poison works slowly by numbing your hunger for purpose, weakening your values and making you comfortable with a life far below your calling. When your mind is always entertained, it forgets how to think deep. When your soul is always stimulated, it forgets how to feel God's presence. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a good movie or song, but when entertainment becomes your escape, it becomes your cage. You stop growing. You stop listening. You stop living with intention. Ask yourself, am I consuming content that lifts me up or pulls me down? Is it helping me grow or just helping me forget? Guard your mind like your future depends on it, because it does. Entertainment is not the enemy, but the enemy can use it. And if you're not careful, you won't even notice he already has. Time is the real treasure. Time is the most valuable thing you'll ever have. Not money, not fame, not success. Because all of those things can come and go. But time, once it's gone forever. The enemy knows this. That's why he doesn't always try to destroy your life. He simply distracts you long enough for you to waste it. And by the time you realize what's happened, you're already years behind your purpose. You scroll for hours, binge watch for days, procrastinate for weeks, all while telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow is never promised. Every minute you spend without intention is a minute you'll never get back. Time is a treasure that most people only value after they've wasted it. But those who realize its worth early, those who protect their time, build powerful lives. Look at the most successful people. What do they have in common? They manage their time like it's gold, because it is. They say no to distractions. They say no to things that don't align with their goals. Not because they're boring, but because they understand that time is limited and their calling is urgent. You were given this life for a reason. Don't let time slip through your fingers while chasing things that don't matter. Use your time wisely. Build, learn, grow, pray, and take action. Because at the end of your life, you won't regret the time you spent chasing your purpose. You'll only regret the time you wasted ignoring it. Focus is a spiritual discipline. In today's world, staying focused is not just a productivity hack. It's a spiritual discipline. We're surrounded by distractions, notifications, trends, opinions. Every second, something is fighting for your attention. But the more your mind is pulled in 100 directions, the harder it becomes to hear God's voice or stay aligned with your purpose. Focus isn't automatic, it's intentional. It's a daily decision to guard your mind, Manage your time and prioritize what actually matters. The enemy doesn't always come to destroy your life with one big attack. Sometimes he simply scatters your attention so much that you never move forward. You start many things but finish none. You have dreams but never take action. You want to grow spiritually but you're too distracted to even pray. This is not just a mental battle, it's a spiritual one. Staying focused on God, on growth, on purpose requires effort. It means saying no to things that look good but lead nowhere. It means creating space for silence, reflection, and direction. You can't hear divine instruction in a noisy mind. Start small. Create boundaries. Limit distractions. Make time for prayer. Make space for learning. Focus your energy on what aligns with your purpose. Because the person who can master their focus can master their future. Your greatest breakthroughs won't come when you're scattered. They'll come when you're centered, fully present, fully aligned, fully focused. Distraction kills destiny. One of the greatest threats to your destiny isn't failure. It's distraction. You weren't born to live a random life. You were created with a purpose. A unique mission that only you can fulfill. But here's the truth. A distracted mind can never discover it. Every time you get closer to clarity, something pulls your attention away. Endless scrolling, gossip, entertainment, noise. And without realizing it, days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and you're still stuck, busy but not growing, moving but not progressing. That's not by accident. The enemy doesn't always attack with chaos. Sometimes he attacks with comfort. He doesn't need to ruin your life. He just needs to keep you distracted enough so you never step into the life you were meant to live. Purpose requires attention. Calling requires focus. You can't hear God's direction when your mind is full of everything else. Think about this. How many dreams have died because people got too distracted to pursue them? How many ideas, talents, and callings were lost? Not because they failed, but because they never began. Distraction kills more destinies than rejection ever will. You don't need more time, you need more focus. You don't need more motivation, you need less distraction. Start protecting your focus like your future depends on it. Because it does. Your destiny is calling. Don't let noise be the reason you never answer. Discipline is the way back. If distraction is what pulls you away, then discipline is what brings you back. Life today moves fast. Distractions are everywhere. It's easy to lose focus, to drift from your purpose, to feel spiritually distant. But you're not lost. You're just undisciplined. And the way forward begins with one choice: to take control. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's setting boundaries when everything around you wants your attention. It's choosing silence when the world is loud. It's taking time to pray even when you don't feel like it. That's where the shift begins. You don't wait for clarity to act. You act and clarity follows. You don't wait for motivation to build a habit. You build habits and motivation grows. Discipline is the doorway that leads back to focus, peace, and purpose. The enemy wants your life to stay chaotic. Because in chaos you don't hear God. In chaos you react instead of grow. But discipline silences the noise. It teaches your mind to slow down, your heart to listen, and your spirit to rise. Start small. Wake up earlier. Limit screen time. Protect moments of silence. Be intentional with your prayers. These little acts of discipline done daily will slowly rebuild the connection you've been missing. You don't need a new life. You need a new rhythm. And that rhythm starts with discipline. Because when your life is ordered, your soul finds peace. You were meant for more. You weren't created just to wake up, scroll, survive, and repeat. There's more to you, more to your life, more to your purpose. But somewhere along the way, distractions crept in. You open your phone for 5 minutes and lose an hour. You chase likes, trends, and noise, while your real calling quietly fades into the background. But deep inside, you know it. You weren't made for this shallow cycle. You were meant for more. You have gifts inside you the world hasn't seen yet. Ideas that could inspire, strength that can lead, a purpose that can change lives. But none of it comes alive through endless scrolling. It comes alive through intention, focus, and action. The enemy wants you numb, mentally busy, but spiritually asleep. Because if he can keep you distracted, he doesn't have to defeat you. You'll do that on your own, but not anymore. It's time to wake up, not just physically, but spiritually. It's time to reclaim your mind, your time, your energy. You were not created to blend in. You were created to rise above, to do work that matters, to become who you were born to be. So next time you feel the pull to scroll, pause and ask yourself, is this moving me closer to my purpose or further away from it? Because you were meant for more, and deep down you already know it. Distraction is not just stealing your time, it's stealing your future. Every moment you spend lost in noise is a moment you could have used to grow, to heal, to build, to connect with your creator and step into your real purpose. But here's the truth. It's not too late. You can choose differently today. You can take your attention back, your peace back, your power back. You can begin again with focus, with intention, with discipline. The life you were meant to live is still waiting for you. And if this message spoke to you, it wasn't random. It was a reminder from above that you're meant for more, much more. So don't let this just be another video you watch and forget. Let this be the moment everything changes. And remember, this is just the beginning. I'll be right here helping you every step of the way. See you in the next